For this design, I'd like to have a decking area here. These are the windows from the back of the house. I'd like to have a decking area through there. What I've done is to create a layer called deck. That's done by going Layers, Layer Dialog, and I'll just set up another one now. There's one already there called Layer 2. I can go to Details, and if we click Details, we can change that. I've already got the decking one, so let's make one called Paving, and we'll set the colour of the paving to some sort of paving colour. We can scroll down here and pick a sandy sort of colour. That'll do us for the moment, and we can OK that. So we have layer 0, on which most of the elements that we've been putting in here are drawn, a layer deck and a layer paving, and I'll OK that. What I wanted to show you is if you click on this down arrow here, you can say if I'm drawing on the paving layer, I do that. If, as I'm about to, draw on the deck layer, I do that. So we want to define an area for the deck. To do that, I'll draw with what's called the polyline command, because I want to draw a closed shape polyline, and it asks me for the first point. Now, you'll notice that there's a yellow flyover jumping to an end point there. I want to put my snap on, so I double click down there, and I'll go to O snap and take these off, and I can start drawing here. This will be the decking area here, and it's going to butt against that line there, and I can't quite reach it. So what I can do is go to O snap and go perpendicular and do that. It's latched onto that line now. Then I can go O snap off, O snap end, and come across here. I can roll out, come down to that end there, and one of the options you might notice down here in the command area is C for close. So we've drawn a closed shape on a layer called deck, ready to be hatched with the hatching. So we draw, hatch, and we need to pick some sort of pattern, so you can just click somewhere in here, and if you use the up and down arrows on the keyboard, you can scroll to wherever you want. Let's assume we take that one, and we'll say we're going to hatch it at an angle of 45. I happen to know that you've got to use a reasonably large scale factor there, and now I can pick entities. Now that polyline that we just drew is one entity, so I can just click it. It goes magenta. I right click and go OK, and in goes the hatching. Now I've got my scale wrong, and if I go to properties here, scale, even though we typed 2000, didn't actually give us 2000, so we'll click in here and change it and close it, and we're done. So we have some hatching in there. I'm not quite sure why the 2000 didn't bite, but you can see we were able to change it easily after the event. I'll press F7 and that takes the grid away. So now from the house here with 3 windows looking out onto the deck area, we'll organise a step down, and this will be the paving area. So the red lines represent the decking, and you might even want to change it and make the scale factor a little lower, maybe 1000, to give you some more closely spaced lines, but that's up to you. We'll put some text on there later to indicate that's a paved area. So there'll be some double doors opening here onto the decking and then stepping down into the adult entertaining area with a tank underneath it. And we'd like to move that tank and put that tank on an irrigation layer, so you can select it and right click and go to properties, and here where it says layer, we just made one. No, we didn't make one. We made one called paving. So I've made a mistake there, haven't I? I haven't created the irrigation layer yet. This shape here, that one there and there, that's going to be right click, properties, and we move it to a paving layer, and its colour should change as we do it, and we get a faint change. So can you see we're setting up the layers so that we can put specific entities on specific layers. Our next stage, in fact, might be to create an irrigation layer and then to put our 600mm paving bricks over this area.